All right, and we're back. And in the last episode, we learned how to fix basically our weight system to make it easier. And at the end of it, we learned how to get a haircut. So this one, let's fix the haircut system so that it takes money. So a haircut has to cost some money. So we need it to cost money. So in our third person character, let's actually make a custom event. So open up your blueprint for your third person character. And in the event graph, or you could do it as a function, but in the event graph, I'm going to do spend money. So just like we have add money, I'm going to do one called spend money. So it's going to be custom event, and it's going to be called spend money. And all I want to do is just take money. So I'll get money from our variable list, but I'm just going to copy it from here. Get money and minus a money amount. Minus. So in this one, it should have an input, which is the money amount. So let's put an input here. And let's make it called money spent. And make it an integer. Boom. So now we'll set money, which I have it right here. I'm just going to copy it and paste. Set money to whatever that is, money minus money amount. And if money is, so put a branch, if this amount is less than or equal to 0, set it to 0. That way it can't go below 0. But you're not going to be able to spend the money. That's just a fail safe, but we're going to put spend money. We're going to comment it, click it in this little bubble or whatever. Now we can spend money. All right, so let's go to our HUD. Let's go to this haircut thing. So in the haircut, there should be like a little haircut icon here. Let's see, I must have it turned off. And so if we go into that blueprint for the haircut, let's fix it up a little bit. So open up that blueprint. Basically, when you interact with it, it just gives them a haircut. But we need to spend money first. So drag off a third person character and say spend money and plug that in right before here and right before here. Now, one more thing, we have to do a money check, because how much is the haircut going to cost? This haircut is going to cost, let's say, you can make it a variable if you plan to have multiple barbershops in your world, but I might only have one. So this haircut is going to cost $50. So if the third person character does not have $50, so get money, and if it's greater than or equal to 50, then if that's true, then you can spend the money. If it's false, you're going to probably pull up a widget that says, oh, you need money, or you're too broke, or whatever. Compile and save. So now what we did is we just made it so that they can spend money. And that's going to bring us into the next section, because in this video, we wanted them to be able to buy stuff from this shop. So we've already got a shop icon or a shop blueprint right here. It's the can sale box. So every time they walk into the can sale box, they're going to be inside of a store. So what we can do is enhance this blueprint here. So let's open up the can sell blueprint. And basically, all it's here is when they walk in, it says they can sell. When they walk out, they cannot sell. How about this? Let's do a little bit more. Let's first, class settings here. Let's add our interface. So add interaction, interface, compile and save. That way the player can interact with this. So type in interact, and you want to find the event interact. And when they press that, we need to bring up a widget. So we don't have a widget, but we can say create widget. We don't have the class, but we'll say add to viewport. And there we go. All right, so this is what we need to fill out before it's going to have an error. So we need to have a widget. So go to your HUDs, and we need to just create a new one. I think I would really like this crafting one, so I'm going to copy it so we don't have to start from scratch. So duplicate the crafting one, and we're going to call it weapon store underscore WB for widget blueprint. Okay. And here, instead of crafting menu, I'm just going to say buy weapons. Okay. I should kind of center that off. Bow, bow, bow. All right, now, this is a way I could just replace a lot of this code in these buttons, but I can not start from scratch. So let's start from the stone knife. Stone knife is cool. The picture of the stone knife is cool. But right here, we don't need this. We can delete this. Or we can change it, because right now it says get text. Let's remove the binding for it. And instead of out of 3 rocks, how much would a stone knife cost? A stone knife can be sold for $2. So it could be worth $4. So right here, I'm just going to put $4 for the text. 4, and paste. So instead of that, we'll put the 4 after. All right, cool. And maybe I'll still center that off. There we go. And when they click on this button, something needs to happen. So on clicked, pull that up, cast it a third-person character. What we're going to do is delete all this stuff that's off of it right now because it's from our old code. We need to write some new code. So they're going to spend money. Money spent is $4. So we need to first check and see if they have $4. So get money greater than or equal to 4 branch. Plug it in. My 4 didn't save. 4, plug that in. If that is true, they could spend money, and the money amount that they spend is 4. And then what happens is they need to they need to buy that stone knife. So let's get stone knives. Add 1. If stone knives is false, if has stone knife is false, set it to true. So drag off and say set stone knife to true. Set has stone knife, my bad. Bow. So if it is false, then set it to true. Otherwise, don't do anything else because you just spent the money for it and you added it. Oh, now we need to set stone knives regardless of what happens there. So after that, set stone knives. After you add 1, you need to set stone knives to that. And you could do it right before that branch. So right after they spend the money, set stone knives, bow. Oh, you know what else you need to do? If you do add stone knives to yourself right before the branch, you need to do the current weight function. And then set the current weight. Every time you add something to the player, that's what you have to do. Because you want to make sure it adds to the weight as well. So set current weight to that weight right there, which is the total. Bow. And then I think I'm feeling better because I just said bow. I didn't even mean to say that. All right. Compile and save everything. It looks good. So if the has knife is set to false, then set it to true because you have a knife now. But if it's already true, don't worry about anything because you just added 1 to it and you're good. Cool. So on this button clicked, I'm going to call this something so we know what it's called. All right, I'll move this down here. And I'm going to put a comment around it. And I'm going to call this buy Oops. Buy stone. Oh, that's what's wrong. Buy stone knife. All right, cool. Now that you got that, of course you can just copy and paste for the rest of them. So let's go. In this one, stone axe, all right, instead of this number, we need to see how much the stone axe is worth. So let's remove the binding, bop, bop, put that there. And how much was that stone axe worth? Stone axe is worth $5. So they're going to sell it for $10. These guys are hustlers, you know what I'm saying? That's how they get down. This guy is, at least. But he buys rocks, so he's not that much of a hustler. He gives you a deal. Just put it in the center, delete that one off of it. Put this like more in the center right there. And when you click on the stone axe, let's just copy and paste that same code. So come down here, on clicked. After third person character, delete everything. And what we'll do is bring it down underneath the one we just made. Buy stone knife. And after third person character, you just copy everything. Copy, paste. And now let's just change up everything. So third person character, hook it up to the money. That's cool, but instead of 4, we need to do 10. And instead of stone knives, we need to say get stone axes. And then add 1 to that instead of stone knives. And instead of money spent 4, we need to say money spent 10. And then we need to set stone axes, not stone knives. All right, to this number here. Then we need to do the current weight function, plug that in. Then if they have the stone axe, has stone axe. If that is false, then set that to true. Set has stone. All right, it has stone axe. If it's false, set it to true. Bow. All right, cool. And now you got the stone, buy the stone axe. So comment buy stone axe. Now I think you got the hang of this. Now I'll do one more here on the screen so we can set it up and test it. But make sure your spend money and your current weight function is hooked up to the third person character. Also, your current weight function, or your current weight, excuse me, is hooked up to the third person character. Now there should be no errors. All right, bet. Now that we can buy all these items, we need to be able to make sure it works. So in your can sell box, in the event interact, you want to bring up that weapon store here. So what you could do is let's make this a variable. So promote this class to a variable so that each time you have this can sell box, maybe you have multiple stores. So you could bring up different stores, like store widgets. So in this case, we're going to compile and save, and we'll set the eyeball on for this. So each one can have its own. But this one, we'll call it the weapon store. Compile and save, add to viewport. Now, one more thing. In the weapon store, event begin play, or event construct, here it goes. It says set the mouse cursor, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. All right, so when the weapon store does come up, we need to have a way to close it out. So let's put a button in the top left, and we'll make the button red. And just put the letter X in it. So put a text in that button. And for the text blocks, we're going to put the letter X. So you can just click out that. So when you click on that button, what's going to happen is drag it up to event construct. So when you click on that, it's going to do Set the mouse cursor to false, copy, paste. Then it's going to set the input mode, copy, paste, to game only. Yeah, copy, paste. So get all widgets a class. And instead of status widget, we're going to get weapon store widget. Weapon store. Get it if it's valid. If it is valid, remove from parent. Bow. Oh, you have to replace that get. So drag off there and say get. There we go. Cool. Let's test all of that out, and then I'm going to end the video because I told you I didn't want this one to get too long, but it already did. Let's go in the store. I'm walking up, so I press E. Buy weapons. Okay, cool. You know what you should see? You should see your money at the bottom of that. So at the bottom of the buy weapons real quick. Oops, I'm talking over that loud ass fucking music. I'm going to turn that shit down on my OBS. So at the bottom of your weapons widget, let's look at it real quick. Right down here, it should say the player's money. So let's put some text down here, make it green, make the color green. And then you can bind it to the player's money. So make a binding, or there should already be a binding like that. But just create a binding. And if we have the third person character, we don't. Cast the third person character, get player character, and then we're going to get money. And then format text. And the way we're going to do it is going to say that symbol, space, bracket, money, curly bracket, plug money in. Wow. All right, bet. Now it's going to say the player's money down there. Test right here. Bop. Bop. Bet. That's the end of the episode, y'all. That's what I wanted to show you this time. I wanted to show you that we can buy items. Now what you can do if you need to have different stores is you can go to your HUDs here, to that store that we just made called Weapon Store. Just duplicate it and put different items in there. And you can put stores all over your map here, which that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do that. And the only thing that you have to change when you put this can sell variable is, watch this, on the right hand side here, you could change the class of the widget. This one is called set to weapon store. So when I walk into this one, it'll be the weapon store. So hope you learned something. I will holler at y'all in the next one. Peace.
Run to the money, on the feet, don't fail. The DA and the judge wanna do their best to jail. I done turned it all.